Okay, so we're going to talk about adding and subtracting integers. So we're going to start with adding first, okay? So when you have a problem like 5 plus -7, right? This is an addition problem. However, you're adding two numbers with different signs. You have a positive number and a negative number. So here's how we do it. There's two possible methods that you can use. The first one is you pick the bigger number, or I should say the number with the bigger absolute value. In this case, it's 7, okay? So write 7. And then we subtract the other number with the less absolute value, in this case 5. So you know that's 7, take away 5 is 2. And then we pick the sign of the bigger number. Our bigger number was 7, we decided, therefore 7 is negative, therefore my answer, my solution will also be negative. So the answer to this problem is -2. So once again, we pick the bigger number, we subtract the smaller number, and then we keep the sign of the bigger number. Now, another way that you can use to solve this problem is this. I'm going to draw 5 pluses here because I have a positive 5 here. So 5 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here, I'm going to draw 7 negative signs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, right? So now, I know that the 5 positives will cancel the 5 negatives. So those are gone. The only thing I have left is those 2 negative signs right here. So I've got 2 negatives left, therefore my answer is -2. That's a great way if you have more of a visual mind, if you're more of a visual learner. However, just keep in mind when you get to bigger numbers, it is difficult to apply this method because obviously if you have 35 plus -49, it just takes a long time to draw that many signs. Now, what if we're adding two numbers with the same sign? That's actually easier. So let's say, for example, that we have -8 plus -10. So once again, we're adding here, but unlike the first problem, we're adding two numbers with the same sign. So my rule for that is I'm going to add the absolute values of those two numbers. So I'm going to do 8 plus 10, which is obviously 18, and I'm going to keep their sign. They're both negative, therefore my answer is going to be negative. My answer is -18. So once again, if you're adding two numbers with the same sign, all you've got to do is add the absolute value and keep the sign. Another one, we have -6 plus -6. Okay, I'm adding, I have the same sign, therefore it's going to be 6 plus 6 equal 12. And it's going to be negative because I'm keeping their sign. So now we're going into subtractions. All right, so I've got -9, take away 5. All right, so now I'm not adding anymore, I'm subtracting. What I teach is a simple rule. It's called KCC, keep, change, change. So K, C, C, right? So I'm going to keep the first number, which is a -9. I'm not messing with it. But I'm changing this into a plus. And I'm changing this into a negative. To some of you, it may look like This is a negative number because of the sign, but just keep in mind, this is a subtraction sign. This number here is still positive. So I'm going to turn it into a negative. So now guess what? Now I'm back to my addition rule, right? I'm adding two numbers with the same sign, so you know what to do. We add the absolute value, 9 plus 5, that's 14, and we keep their sign, which is negative 14. So again, for subtraction, we use the KCC rule, which stands for keep, change, change. One more. Negative 10, take away negative 15. So once again, I'm subtracting. You see subtraction, you automatically think keep, change, change. Keep, change, change. So I'm going to keep my negative 10. I'm going to turn this into a plus, and I'm also going to turn this into a positive. So you end up with negative 10 plus 15. Again, you're back to your addition, right? So addition rules, you know that you're adding two numbers with different signs, right? So remember what I told you, the first thing I told you. You've got to pick the bigger number, in this case 10, or I should say the number with the greater absolute value, 10, and we subtract the smaller looking number, which is, I'm sorry, I messed up, opposite. 15 is obviously has a bigger absolute value, and we take away the one with the lesser absolute value, which is 10. 15 take away 10, that's 5. And again, for the sign, we choose the sign of the number with the bigger absolute value, which in this case is 15, which is positive, and therefore your answer is going to be a positive 5. Alright, so again, there's several ways you can do it. You can just memorize the rule if that's what you like to do, or you can draw the plus and minuses for addition. That may be more helpful for some of you.